Hello, my name's Jimmy, and this is going to be my 8th vlog for Western literature. For this one, I'm going to be discussing some topics off of as I lay down in the book. And the first thing is I wrote this a little bit in my progress report for the class, but the first thing that I want to talk about is we see this contrast. I brought up the contrast between Jewel and Ants, but this time we really see a contrast that in between Jewel and Darl at the end of the book. Jewel is known as this character who's full of like action and stuff, and Darl is more of this very thoughtful character. He's always thinking throughout the book, and oftentimes like he's thinking so much that he doesn't really act. He just stares off into space, and so we see these two extremes of the scale that I think is really unique, especially since Jewel is also he narrates only one section, or close to, in the book, and his thoughts aren't really like coherent. They're very violent. They're really like extreme type. He doesn't know what he's thinking. He doesn't know how to even it out. It's not very introspective as Darl's thoughts are. And I want to think about how this plays into invisibility. Is there a war between our mind and our actions? And again, I wrote this in my progress report, but is it possible that we do what we do not want to do, and we do not do what we want to do? And so there's like some philosophy there. That's a really interesting thing, because if you do what you do not want to do, then people will view you, because they can't read your thoughts, and they'll think, they'll put this image of their mind, their perspective of you will be different than what you truly think, and what you truly want to do. And also, this is something that we talked about a little bit in philosophy, conscious versus sympathy. And so, is it possible that our feelings could rule over our morals, or do our morals rule over our feelings? And that's just something interesting to put out there too. Where our mind versus our actions type things. There's a couple examples I could give, but that will probably be expanded upon more in vlogs to come, because I want to get back into the actual book real quick. And something else that's like really a line that really stuck out to me is Darl, and I don't know the exact page number, but he's basically like, he's really being like philosophical here, and he's saying like, if my mother is dead, and that basically means she's dead, she doesn't exist, and if my mother doesn't exist, that means I don't exist because I'm her son, and if I don't have a mother, then how can I be alive? And I think that's a really interesting statement. It's not, it's not true, but, or not true, but it's not a valid argument or a sound argument, simply because Darl isn't taking into perspective that she once existed, even though she doesn't exist anymore. Existence isn't something that has to be constant in order for something else to rely upon it, in a way, And then another line that really stuck out to me in the book is, Jewel's mother is a horse. And this is Darl. Darl says that. And that's kind of wrapped up with Vardaman saying like, my mother is a fish. And I understood the fish thing because, Vardaman just caught a fish, and, the fish was dead, and then his mother was dying, and so Vardaman related it to the fish dying in his arms, and kind of like, just that he saw the nature, the relation between those two things. So that was a very, like, introspective comment from Vardaman. But Jewel's mother is a horse. This is something that Darl views, to where I realized just how much affection and attention Jewel puts into his horse. And I think in a way, Jewel substitutes the horse for his mother, and he tries to show a lot of attention to the horse and compassion, and tries to really love his horse in place of his mother. For what reason, I don't really know. Maybe he just doesn't have the ability to show that affection to his mom. And so that's just a couple of things that have stuck out to me in this book. It's a really good book, a lot of good stuff in here. Tune in for the next vlog. Alright, thank you, bye.